All right. Just so some of you are not confused, we have a regular meeting at 7, but we're starting this meeting. This is our special called hearing or our millage rate at 6:45. So I'm calling that meeting to order right now. Roll call. Bonnie, we have everybody here. I'm going to pass on opening remarks, except to say that we have a DeKalb County police officer that is at Grady recovering from being stabbed this morning over off of DeKalb Industrial in North Decatur. So I want you all to keep that officer in your thoughts and prayers and send good vibes for healing. They will be okay, but they're still in the hospital. So I appreciate that very much. Okay. So new business. Bonnie, would you read in the ordinance?
We have ordinance O 2026-06-08. This is a second read and public hearing of an ordinance to set 2026 millage rate at 2.036.
Bonnie? Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Can we remind folks in the hallway that we are in our public hearing? Thank you. All right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For the second read of the setting of the millage rate, Finance and City Management have proposed to set the millage rate at 2.036, which is the exact same millage rate as last year. Not an increase in a millage rate, but we did have to go through the 3 hearings because it's an overall increase to the digest, or our digest, I should say. We did decide to do this, to not roll back, just so that we can keep responsible management of inflationary costs, the rising cost of maintenance, and the growing service of expectation for our delivery service. So those are kind of the reasons why we have proposed to keep the millage rate status quo instead of rolling back to that rollback rate that was set by DeKalb County. And here, there's just 3 slides. We're going to go over just the same ones as this morning. Just showing here the two rates being the exact same from 25 to 26. Again, this is the document that we'll sign. These 2 are documents we'll sign. We'll send forward to DeKalb County, just showing the 2.036 millage rate. And this last documentation is where they calculated out the rollback rate for us with the 1.936 here on this line right here, but we're proposing to keep it at the 2.036.
All right, so we're going to go through what we went through this morning because everybody is busy on Facebook slamming us instead of being here at the public hearing this morning. So here's what we're going to talk about. Assessments are done by DeKalb County. They assess the value of your property. And I believe the deadline to appeal that is July 13th. I think it's July 13th, but it should be on the assessment that you got. I forgot to bring mine with me. All right. Millage rate stays the same. It is advertised as a tax increase because the state of Georgia says if your entire digest comes back, even if it comes back $1 more than the tax digest was last year, you have to advertise it even though your millage rate is the same as a tax increase, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about our special homestead freeze. DeKalb has theirs. I'm not going to talk about DeKalb's or schools. You look at your tax bill, their taxes are much higher than what you pay for the city. Okay, but we're talking city right now. Homestead freeze. If you've applied for that and this is your homestead property that's here in Tucker, we base our taxes on that homestead value. So I'm going to use the example we talked about this morning. I had somebody who said to me, the value of my home right now has gone up to $400,000. When they first purchased it, I think it was in 96, it was $90,000. I think it was 96, it was $90,000. They are still being taxed by the city of Tucker at a $60,000 freeze assessment rate. You hear that? They're still being based on their homestead freeze from many, many years ago. It did not go up. And I think they pay about $100. All right, so if you have your homestead freeze now, business owners aren't eligible in the state of Georgia for a homestead freeze. It's your home property. And if you have more than one property, you can only have one property as your homestead, right? So I want to talk about that. This is all the stuff I've been seeing. We have not given ourselves a cost of living adjustment at all, have we, as a city, providing services. So our stuff's going up, our materials are going up, everything else is going up. So we are not rolling back the rate. What's that increase to our total budget?
337,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$337,000. That's it for not rolling back. That's how much will stand to increase coming in taxes, $337,000 because of our very generous homestead freeze that we base our taxes on. And that is written in our charter. So when everybody was talking about property taxes on campaigns, it's the big buzz, property taxes, there's runoffs coming up. Everybody's talking about that. It was talked about at session. There was laws that said HB, I forget, it changed, 581. Now they said, okay, they're going to give themselves, you can only increase your values by like 3% or a cost of living adjustment. We can't do that because in our charter, it says yours is frozen. So I've got somebody who has a 1996 frozen rate. Some of you might have 1996 frozen rates. I think I have a 1997 frozen rate. So that's just, and it's hard to understand that, right? Because headlines say, oh, you're going to have a tax increase. Some people might see a little bit, some people might not see any at all. For us, just for the city. I think you had to also legally, like the most expensive home without a homestead is the value is like $1.1 million of
That was a non-homestead. That was the average of a non-homestead.
a non-homestead
So
property.
Businesses, yeah.
And guess what? They're going to pay an
They're-
extra $37.50 a year. All right. Can you tell I was a middle school teacher? So Councilwoman Weaver this morning brought up that stormwater fees, we're not raising our stormwater fees. So those are staying the same. We just want everybody to understand that as well. I think we've been doing a lot of work orders. I think I posted on my Facebook page how many work orders we've done. So stormwater fees are not going up. I understand that folks around us are looking at their fees. DeKalb's about to have town halls about sanitation. Water fees went up. I can't blame them. Other cities are raising their millage rate. I can't blame them. I can only talk about what we're doing here in Tucker, and that's what we've chosen to do. And it might not always be the case, but this is what we're doing this year. But I understand everybody else's rates going up. And the bad thing is nobody wants to raise rates, right? So what happens? We go 10, 15, 20 years, no one raises it. The water pipes are busting, the sewers are terrible, the roads are terrible, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to increase their rates because now you're at disaster level. So that's something else that we all think about too when we think about maintenance. We've also talked about, this stuff is so confusing, right? How does DeKalb does it this way, city does it this way, school system, that we're going to try to work with, I'm going to put her on the spot, but she's great, our tax commissioner, Nicole Golden, to see if we can do a Tucker 101 tax kind of maybe town hall or education piece or video or something to just really break it down and explain it to people. Because sometimes in our heads, like we got to go through it too. So I just want to be really clear on what we're talking about. All right. Excellent. Questions for Eric before we go into a public hearing? You did. You want to name the millage rate again?
It's 2.036.
All right. Ready? I'm going to go ahead. All right. So we're going to have a public hearing. I'm going to have 10 minutes for those who are here in favor of this millage rate staying the same? Those, and then we'll do 10, I'll close it out, and then we're gonna do 10 minutes for those who are opposed. All right. So I'm gonna open this public hearing for anybody who is in favor of the millage rate staying the same. No one's happy about that? Well, come on up.
The amount is infinitesimal, what it's gonna cost, people. I read on social media that people's values went up. Some people's values went up. I don't know, mine went down. It must be that they live maybe close to some of the new developments that have gone in or whatnot. Well, that's it. I mean, something new goes in and that, that does, maybe increase your value. And I just, I know there's people that, that everybody has a wish list of what they want in the city. And I've gone through the budget and, in order to be able to have, any kind of funds available, we have to keep the revenue stream, even. And so that's the reason I'm in favor.
Good evening, everybody. I live directly across the street. My name is Beverly Williams. I'm in opposition because I looked at my property taxes myself from last year to this year. The numbers don't add. I called DeKalb County today and I asked them a specific question. When did the city of Tucker decided to make this millage rate at 2.036? Because if I look at my taxes for the city of Tucker, it says 0.045126. So that's the city of Tucker from 2025. And so when I looked at this breakdown that you gave me today, and you're saying in 2025, our millage rate was 2.036, not on my tax report. And so when I'm looking at all these numbers, and I called DeKalb County myself today, we was on the phone for an hour. I went line by line. I like to see the person who made this up, and I want the DeKalb County and the city of Tucker, whoever the person is, Bonnie, to sit down and go line by line because this doesn't add up. Thank you.
I'm going to ask, can you leave a copy of that? Because we might have to get your millage rate changed and fixed if they've done it incorrectly to make sure it's a 2.036. So could you leave that with Eric or somebody so we can see what's wrong? Well, we can go online and we can see it. Thank you.
How you doing? I'm Keith McGahee. It's not too hard to ride up down the road and see all the buildings that are up for rent. Tax plays a big role in that. These businesses can't make it right now. And some of them even on the stock market, they're closed down. They left Tucker. They're not coming back. Things ain't looking good. We need to drain the swamp in the city maybe, We got some problems here in this town. I've been here 70 years this year. I don't know everything, but it ain't looking good right now. Thank you.
How you doing? I'm Ted Fisher. I'm a resident and a business owner in Tucker. So he's right about that. There's a lot of businesses have closed. A lot of people I know have closed up, have either sold out, moved, and I'm looking at doing the same thing. I know y'all are having problems with this or whatever. I don't know your budget, But I'm just telling you, my taxes from the early 90s at my house till 2016 didn't change much. They fluctuated back and forth. Since 2016, it's been like a rocket ship. And it's gone up over 300%. Now I just got hit with my business, same thing. They tried to go up 550% on the property taxes, yeah. And I spent a lot of money with my lawyers fighting it, over $30,000, and got it lowered back down to 300%, a little over 300%. So that's hard. And now, I just settled this week, last week, with the Board of Commissioners. They were actually going to appeal it to the Supreme Court, DeKalb County. You know, a 3 times increase wasn't enough. They had to go more. So I just get this settled, and now I hear this on the internet that you guys are wanting. You don't have enough money. And on top of that, I don't know if you know it or not, somebody comes to my shop and buys an engine block from me. It's 2% more than if they go up the street to Gwinnett County. Okay? So, or if I go further out, and what do I get for that? You know, the Spielost, I knew that was a con, and this is a con, you know. So I called 911 for a fire here about 2 or 3 months ago. It's on record. Put me on hold. I hung the phone up. Let the car burn, let the building burn. 20 minutes later, they called me back. Tucker used to not be that way. Tucker, DeKalb County, Tucker was not that way. And I'm not blaming it all on you guys. Some of the things y'all are doing are really good stuff. But like I say, as a property owner, homeowner, and a business owner, I don't like what I'm seeing. I was for y'all to begin with, but now I'm going the other way with people. It's the money issue with it, and then the services are it's terrible. Call the police, same thing. It's a long time before they show up, and so it's just a lot of problems. And no, I don't agree with an increase until you need to get some things straightened out. It's not always just go and just keep digging back to the money pot. That's what we're doing. Just go back and get the taxpayer up. Thank you for letting me speak.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, we'll close that. Just a reminder that so we have to do 3 public hearings for the millage rate. Our last one will be June 22nd at 7 p.m. Just a reminder again, also, you have not gotten your 2026 tax bill yet. What you got in the mail was your valuation of your property. Tax bills go out September-ish, due October and November. So no one has gotten their 2026 tax bill just yet, in case you were nervous when that was mentioned that you didn't get yours. So that was your valuation. All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right. All those in favor? All right, Bonnie. Thank you. We're going to shut that meeting down and we're going to go straight into our